When I started hiking, I was one of the few Black women hiking. It was always odd when a Black person or even some distant family members would say, "You're hiking by yourself in the woods." And I would say, "Yeah, because I can't find anyone who's as excited as I am." So I created Black Hikers Explore, not to exclude anyone, but if anything, to encourage folks to say, "Oh, wow, this person looks like me." And I've wanted to do that, but I thought I was an anomaly. I use my platform to show people that you can hike by yourself, you can hike with your kids, you can hike with a group of friends, and we all belong in nature. So that's my ultimate goal.
Welcome. This is Lauren Stites, and you are listening to Her Side of the Trail. On this episode, I'm speaking with Alexandrie Adebayo. Alexandrie talks about her love of hiking, how she encourages her children to get outside and enjoy nature, and inspires other people of color to know that they belong outside, that the outdoors is for everyone. This is a conversation that I thought was important to have, and so I'm glad you're here to listen. So let's get into it. Hello, Alexandrie. Thank you for being here today. I'm so happy to have you here.
Hey, Lauren, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be a part of your podcast.
Were you able to get out and do any hikes this weekend, or were you busy with kid activities?
Both of those things do usually happen together.
Yeah.
I'm exploring with my kids in tow. This weekend, it was our first full week of school this past week. So to celebrate, we actually did a backyard camping.
Oh, that's so
Um,
fun.
yeah, with the kids, both of my kids and all
I
of their
love
friends.
that. And that's a great transition into our topic today. And I wanted to ask you, like, you spend a lot of time outside with your kids, for
Mhm.
example, the camping this weekend. Was that something that your parents also encouraged? Was that how you were brought up as a child?
So I grew up in the Caribbean and on a mountainous island. Really, my view from my house was a mountain. My family would often hike, although we didn't call it hike. We would just call literally climbing the mountains out of necessity. There were trails we would take to either fetch for water, clean water, water to do laundry, water to have around the house. And then I also grew up in a religious family where we would, at least from what I understood when I was a child, you climb to the highest part of the mountain to get closer to God and pray. I didn't understand it to be hiking. I understood it to be a part of our life, a part of our routine, getting essentials for the house, as well as praying. So when I moved to the States and then I became a parent, it was a very like an easy transition to my lifestyle. And I wanted to continue that into motherhood. So I take my kids hiking, camping, canoeing with me anywhere just to continue that part of my childhood.
I love that. So that's one of the reasons it's important for you to get the kids outside. What are some other reasons why you focus on bringing the kids outside? I mean, I know why I like making my kids come
Yeah.
outside with me. What are some of your reasons?
I mean, the selfish reason, so they don't destroy my house.
That's a good one, though. That's a good, valid reason. I
And
think every mother can appreciate that.
yeah. And then the other reason, really, I love the light in their eyes when they
Hmm.
just do anything. When they're crossing a stream, and just like balancing on rocks, when they pick up their own stakes on the trail and they turn that into their hiking stick. I take my kids really for them to connect to nature, to realize there's nothing to really fear out in the woods, and also to give back to the earth that we live in, understanding that they belong in this society. You have to appreciate where you are and also leave the trails as you found them for the next family and next generations to come. They seem to enjoy it. They really enjoy when it ends with some type of water so they can even get messier and have fun. So it is important for me for them to just connect. to nature.
I'm gonna say that even as kids get older, the water is still a draw. My 15-year-old still will be playing with things with water.
Mhm.
It's hilarious. It's funny how water is such a draw. Like you said, there are so many important factors of why to encourage kids, to expose kids to nature. And you hit them on the head there. So I like that. Shifting gears here, because the main reason I had you on is your account is called Black Hikers Explore.
Mhm.
And I believe you started this account to encourage people of color and really everybody, right, to get outside. What was the motivation for that?
When I started hiking in high school and college, I was one of the few Black women hiking. I would hike with all of my friends, and my friends are from various parts of the world. But it was always odd when a Black person or even some distant family members would say, "You're hiking by yourself in the woods." And I would say, "Yeah, because I can't find anyone who's as excited as I am. So, waiting for people, then I'm losing time and I'm not
Yeah.
committing to my goal." So, then the thought hit me, Instagram is a social platform
Hmm.
and people find ways to connect with others, right? Who shares the same ideas, the same hobbies. So I created Black Hikers Explore, not to exclude anyone, but if anything,
Yeah.
to encourage folks to say, "Oh, wow, this person looks like me. And I've wanted to do that, but I thought I was an anomaly. Oh, maybe I can join this group one day." And I use my platform to show people that you can hike by yourself, you can hike with your kids, you can hike with a group of friends, and I organize group hiking trips where I've taken dozens of people, 2 dozens of people on hiking groups just to show them just the basics of hiking because you don't have to be an expert. I call it like a nature stroll.
I like that.
And you can do a mile, you can do 2 miles, and we all belong in nature. So that's my ultimate goal.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Everybody belongs out there. And as they say, representation matters. And like you said, if someone's scrolling on TikTok or Instagram and they see your face and they see you out in the woods, they're like, "Wait a minute. I belong
Mhm.
out there too." Statistics have showed that people of color are underrepresented in outdoor spaces. Why do you feel like that is the case? Do you think it's cultural, geographic, socioeconomic?
Yeah, I think it's some of the points you've listed, and I can see
Mhm.
the landscape changing a little bit. I've connected with some outdoor explorers who are from the minority. There are a few more now, so I'm very happy to be connected with them. But I do think it stems back from years and years ago of slavery and segregation. If you take swimming, for example, there was a period of time in our history where pools were either emptied out or Black people weren't even allowed to swim because just based on our skin color. And I've met a lot of adults who just don't know how to swim. It's not because of fear of swimming or fear of the water. It's just because it wasn't an activity that was just naturally encouraged in their family or locally because of the systematic racism over the years. So I want to just make an ounce of change in that aspect through my encouragement of swimming, hiking, camping, and just exploring outdoors because it's freeing. I think it's meditative, it's therapeutic, and it's also reinforcing the message of we belong everywhere. We are not adding harm by participating in an activity that's typically seen as made for others. I mean, think about if you go on Google Image and you're looking for pictures of hiking or pictures of swimmers, the demographic typically does not
You're
look
gonna
like
see a lot of white men.
and yeah, particularly a bunch of white men. So that's why I love hiking so much. And funny enough, when I started the page, it was mostly to share my love of hiking. I never really intended to show how I do it with my kids because I didn't want my kids on social media. But now I get also mothers messaging me, "Oh, how can I get my kids started?" Because they don't want that tradition and that stereotype of black people don't do X, black people don't do Y to translate down to their kids. So I think our generation is starting to put an end to that systematic racism that's been going on for years, and making sure we lower the gap to black people exploring the outdoors.
I agree, and I hope that with your children's generation, by then, it won't be, odd for them, for
Yeah.
anyone to say anything like, "Oh, you're out there? What do you why are you out there?" You know? I hope it's just, like,
Yeah.
a generally accepted, "Yes, oh, yes, this is an activity that Black people do." I know you kinda touched on this a little bit too, but as a Black woman, what does it mean to you to be able to get outdoors and hike? Do you feel like you're fighting against the cultural norms and stereotypes?
When I am out there, when I'm packing my bag, heading out to go, that isn't necessarily in my head. It's mostly um, work was hard, motherhood is hard, and that's my way of relaxation. Some people choose a spa, some people need a facial. I need a tree, I need a waterfall, I need the sound of the birds. Sometimes I walk barefoot. I even do it in my backyard just to recenter myself. That's typically my go-to with hiking. It's a form of therapy, it's a form of relaxation. And by doing so, I show people that you don't need a lot of things to just get out there. You don't need the latest hiking boots. You don't need the best backpack. You don't need the best gear. You really just need to put one foot forward and appreciate nature. And, because the more usage we get out of our trails, of our reservations that may be near us, the more we show people that we belong there, we want to explore. It's good for our bodies, it's good for our mind, it's good for our health. So that's typically what goes on in my head.
We've talked about this with another guest previous episode that, just getting outside, I mean, we all know it. It's so good for your mental health. It
Mhm.
really is. So, yeah, if you're having a bad day, like get outside and go for a walk, whether it's around your neighborhood, a local park, or on a
Yeah.
trail that's not too far away. Like, it'll do you wonders. You have taken a lot of maybe first timers or second timers out on the trail, people who aren't as experienced as you. What are some advice that you would give to someone who's getting out on the trail for the first or second time?
I try to plan my group hikes and make them beginner friendly. And one thing that I would say is whether you're alone or you're part of a group, make sure someone else knows your whereabout.
Good tip,
Yes,
yes.
hiking is fun and it's great for your mental health, but safety remains a priority. I either hike alone or with my children, and regardless, I still make sure I prioritize safety. I have certain hiking essentials that I pack. And I actually have like a list of essentials on my Instagram that I share with people. Just make sure you have those. They don't have to be, like I said, top of the line, but just to ensure your day goes smoothly, or the 2 hours that you're hiking or what have you go smoothly. And then I would say, have fun. And if you feel any uncertainty, whether you're 10 minutes into your hike, an hour into your hike, trust your instinct, turn back. You are not
Yes,
here
yes.
chasing a gold medal. This is not a fitness, what do you say, competition.
Yeah, yeah, you're not
Go
trying
out
to get, like, the
there.
fastest known time?
Exactly. The moment you don't feel comfortable and you're getting exhausted, turn around and also hydrate. Always bring more water than you think you need.
Yes. There's been times that I've been out on my own and I've just gotten like, not that I was feeling unsafe because I was tired or the terrain, but I just had like a, like a little
Mhm.
voice in my head that was like, you should turn
Uh,
around. And I listened to that. I'm like, I'm turning around now. And I don't know what it is, but some higher power, but trying to keep me safe. But I agree with you. Listen to your gut, listen to
yeah.
your body, turn around if you have to,
Mhm.
especially if you're out solo hiking, for real.
Yeah, I think hiking is getting more popular now, especially it was during pandemic, post pandemic. A lot of people are leaning towards nature. There are apps to help you navigate to stay safe on trail. I would say another trip is make sure you just follow the trail. Don't go off trail.
Yes.
Rem-
Yes.
Regardless of how interested it might be or how curious you might be, there are trail maintenance individuals who have created the trails for a reason. They know where it starts, they know where it ends. So make sure you remain on trail and you keep them clean. And, if you feel any odd ways, just turn back. Even though you wanted to reach the summit or reach the view that you saw on Instagram, your health, your safety matters way more.
Yep. 100%. Yes. Those are all good tips. Thank you. Um, so I know you are a world traveler. You have been so many unique places. I've been jealous, flipping through your social media and seeing many of the places that you've been. Do you have any favorite places that you've hiked outside of the US? I'd love to hear about them.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We have hiked, believe it or not, we've hiked in Hong Kong and we
That's
hiked
cool.
in a beautiful trail, and then it takes us to, I can't remember exactly the name, where you can see the beach. So we had a wonderful view of that, but that still isn't my favorite. My
No,
favorite is our most recent trip. We went to Morocco. That was our first African destination, and we got to glamp in the Sahara Desert.
that is so
Yeah,
cool. That is
glamp
so cool.
for 2 nights with both kids. There was a swimming pool in the middle of the desert.
That's something you expect to find there.
Very odd, very new for us. But it wasn't so much of a hike, but we got to ride a camel in the desert. And then I guess just going up and down sand dunes can feel
I
like
mean,
a
that's a
hike.
hike,
It's
definitely.
a
Yeah.
workout. Yeah. So that
Mhm.
was one of my favorite recent
That
memories.
sounds incredible. And the kids enjoyed it?
They really enjoyed it. I mean, sand and toddlers, because they were both toddlers at the time, and it's sensory friendly. They really loved it. They enjoyed the pool. And we're in a tent, but the real beds inside the tent, so they really loved it. They had a blast.
What an incredible experience. That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right. So, before I finish up with you, because I do appreciate your time, and I know you're a busy mom, working mom, so I know you have limited time. So I appreciate you spending it with me. I'm gonna ask. I've been asking this of everyone. If you could only do one kind of hike for the rest of your life, would you hike to views or would you only hike to waterfalls?
Ooh. Well, if that's my only option, I would have to choose a waterfall.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I would have to choose, I think, just the sound of the water. I love when
Yep.
I'm approaching the waterfall and I can hear the depth of the water. And then once I reach it, feeling all that sprinkle or the mist over my body. And if it's a waterfall that's super tall that I'm able to walk under,
Oh,
um,
please.
those
Yes.
are also really fun. That's a tough question
I
because it
know. I
really
know.
depends, but that would be my choice.
We were just this summer we hiked to a waterfall that we could swim at. The water was freezing. I mean, if it was 50 degrees maybe, but like it was so cold. But it was such an awesome experience though to be
Mm.
able to do that. So that was really fun.
Would you mind sharing where?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was in Virginia, Cascade Falls. It's near Blacksburg, Virginia, which is where Virginia Tech is. It's like 20
Mhm.
minutes from there. It's a very popular trail, but thankfully, I mean, we were there over July 4th weekend and it wasn't crowded. I think it gets more crowded when school is in session, when the Virginia Tech students are there. So, but it was beautiful. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. So, all right, Alexandria, I really appreciate your time. I just want to let everyone know where they can find you, where they can follow along with all your hiking adventures with the kids.
Thank you. You can find me now on Instagram at Black Hikers Explore. That's plural on hikers. My website is still in the building phase, blackhikersexplore.com. If you ever want to join a group hike, I have a form on my Instagram where you can submit your email address. So you'll be added to my newsletters and you'll be receiving any information about upcoming events.
That's good, especially if anyone listening lives you're in North Jersey, correct? You're in the North Jersey area? Yeah, so if anyone listening lives in North Jersey and wants to go out on a group hike with Alexandria, there you go. Find her Instagram, sign up there for her. So,
Thank you.
but Alexandria, thank you so much for your time and your insight into hiking with kids. And then again, what it's like to be a person of color out in the outdoors. I really appreciate you sharing all your thoughts on that. And thank you for being here.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you for having me on your podcast. It's been so great to watch your podcast evolve. I look forward to seeing many, many more episodes of your podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for listening to Her Side of the Trail. There are more hiker stories to hear, so please follow along to hear them as soon as they come out. And if you like this episode, please share it with your friends or on social media. Her Side of the Trail is hosted and produced by me, Lauren Stites. I can't wait to share another hiker story with you next episode.